Okay, so what we got to do now is, before we put on the reinforcing fiberglass underneath the base, we need to glue the pieces into position. Now what we're going to do is, let me show you guys what I mean. There are these pieces that had come off for the plastic, and I think this one goes right here, just like that. So we're going to clean the plastic. We're going to get everything glued into place, and then we're going to reinforce it underneath. So why don't we go ahead now, and I'm going to show you guys what I plan to use for all the materials that I need for this project, so we can bring the R.M.S. Queen Mary back to life. Okay, so when it comes to all the little nuts and bolts that are in this model, I thought about replacing them, but then I was thinking about it, and I'm like, well, I want to keep this original. The same condition, the same parts that came with the model. So when it comes to the base, I had gotten this stuff. This is the Evaporust, heavy duty rust remover. And what I'm gonna do is, we're gonna pour this into a little container, and we're gonna put the bolts and the nuts and the washers in, and then we'll be able to reuse those items that came with the base. So that's gonna be for the hardware. The nuts, the bolts, the screws, we're going to make sure that they're nice and clean before they reuse them. So what I also got, let me show you guys. I ended up getting the 3M, the Bondo fiberglass repair kit. And this stuff will be interesting because I was wondering what I could use to reinforce the base underneath. And this will be perfect because when it comes to the base, it's very brittle, and we want something to make it strong. So I ended up going with this. You can see the steps on it. It's got the little container. We're going to stir it up. We're going to put it down, the little sheets of the fiberglass. And I'm not going to put a ton of it, but I do want to put enough in where it's going to reinforce the base. That way there, it won't be as brittle. It'll add strength to the base. So when it comes to the base itself now, there is a lot of age on it, and I don't want to use something harsh. So I was thinking about the Armor All, because how many times have we all used it to clear the steering wheel, things of that nature. So what this is going to do is, it's actually going to take off a little bit of that discoloration from the age. And this is the Armor All multi-purpose cleaner, and this is totally safe for plastic, and that's why I wanted to get it. So this is the scientifically engineered Armor All to easily remove stubborn smudges from the sunscreen, bug repellent, tough dirt, dust, and grime. So we need to take off the age off the base. Once that's done, then we can use the protectant. And what I want to do is, I want to put a little bit on this, and it'll actually condition the plastic, it'll protect it, and it'll make it a little bit deeper, kind of restoring the way it would have looked at the beginning. And when it comes to the tape, I'm only going to use like regular Scotch tape. We're going to Scotch tape the pieces on the base, from the base point of view, on the surface. And then underneath, we're going to use the Instacure, and we're going to put a little bit of the baking soda in to really solidify it. But what I need to do is, I need to not really glue the heck out of the pieces. I just have to put it into position, almost like tack welding it, and then it'll be sturdy enough where we put the fiberglass underneath the base, and it'll really, really strengthen it. So that's what we got to do. So we're going to start right now. We're going to tape all the pieces on, and we're going to glue the base. All right, the first thing I want to do is, we have all the hardware that was in the base. We got the little washers, we have the little bolts, and we've got the little screws. And I was thinking about changing them over and getting new ones, but I want to stick to the original. I want to keep the base as original as possible. So I have a small container. So we're going to put all of these little pieces into a container because they have to be able to be submerged. And I don't want to waste the Evaporust. You can reuse it, but you can see we're going to use the Evaporust. Heavy duty rust remover. So the way this works is we're going to put this in. We're going to completely submerge all the parts. And we're going to wait 24 hours. And then we're going to rinse it off. And we're going to see how the little pieces of metal look, how it's affected. And if necessary, we'll do it again. If not, we'll just keep them, we'll put them aside, and we'll get ready when we put the base back together. So what I'm going to do, let's see if I can do this without making a mess. So I'm going to pour just like that. So this part is done. So like I said, I'm going to let this set. Maybe the directions say an hour, but we're going to let it rest for 24 hours because it says 24 hours as well for stubborn rust. And it may not be that terrible, but I want them to look brand new. So we're going to give this 24 hours and then we'll take a look and check in on them. Okay, so it's time to start the restoration of the base. So what I want to do is all these pieces that have been out, that broke off, I've got these pieces and they're going to go back into the base. So we're going to tape them into position. That way they're held in place. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use the Instacure. I like the Instacure. And we're going to use a little bit of the baking soda. And we're going to put the glue on. Then we're going to put the baking soda on. And then we're going to brush it off. So the first thing we got to do is we have to tape all the pieces in place. And I'm going to tape everything on the outside of the base because we don't want the glue seeping through, and we just kind of want to keep it in position. So that's step number one. Okay, so the first thing are the pieces on the inside of the base. And keep in mind, there are pieces that I just don't have that were missing from the base. So we can start with this one. I think this will be easier. So we're going to do it like this. I'm going to put it into position and make sure it's in place. I'm going to just put the tape on to keep it in position. Just like that. I want to make sure it stays in place. Just like that. I don't know if you can see that now. And now I'm going to put a longer piece to try to keep it in place. We're going to put this right across. Just like that. There. Let me turn it around for you to see the inside. Show you. See what I meant? How the tape is going to hold everything in place on the outside. And then when we glue it, it'll be in position and it'll be solid. Okay, so we got that section looking pretty good. So we have one more piece. And I'm not quite sure where this one isn't going to go over there. This one actually, I think, is going to go Yeah, this one is going to go right here. And there are pieces of the base that were broken that I just don't have. So we're going to take, same thing, we're going to take a piece of tape and we're going to go on the inside and we're going to put it in position. I want to roll out all of the ear pockets. See how that looks? Let me show you the inside now. And what we'll do is, don't worry about that. It'll come together when we glue it. All right. So now we got to do this section. So this is all broken. So I want to get this taped in position. Yeah, and it's going to go down like that, and now we're going to tack this into place. What I want to do is I want to ride the seam. And again, I want to roll out all the pockets of air. That way there, when we glue it, the glue won't squish through. So see how that looks now? All right, now we can put this piece on. All right, see how that's looking? Yeah, let's take a look at the inside now. See that? And when we put the glue on, we're gonna put a little bit of pressure with our hands, and we're going to close up the gaps. Because remember, the tape right now is just to hold it in position so we can actually glue it. All right, so now we have one more section that we need to address. And over here, there's a really big crack. No pieces are missing, so that's a good thing. So what I'm going to do first is we're going to tape the bottom to kind of keep it in position. And again, the tape, what the tape is going to do, it's going to hold the pieces together. It's going to keep everything conjoined, but we still have to put a little bit of pressure when we do the actual gluing. And it's going to help to keep the glue from seeping through the front. Because remember, when we put the pieces together, we want them to be no gaps, because we're going to be doing the cleaning and the conditioning of the base. All right, is this all right, I noticed another crack over here. So with this plastic, it's so brittle. That's why there just seem to be cracks, even from handling it. And I'm not really criticizing the person who shipped this to me, but what else could he do? I mean, this plastic, you just touch it and it breaks. That's why it's very important for us to reinforce the bottom. So that looks good. Okay, so it looks like we have all of the cracks and all of the pieces taped in place. So what we need to do now is we're going to start actually gluing. And I think, yeah, we're going to do this part first. So we're going to put a little bit of the Instacure on, and then we're going to put a little bit of the baking soda. All right. So the first one we're going to do, this looks pretty good because it's solid and the connection is really, really good. So we're going to put a little bit of the glue, and all I want to do is just run it down the seam. just like that. And now we're going to take the baking soda, and I want to put some on just like that. And if there's a lot, just don't worry about it, because we'll just brush that off. All right, so now we're going to do this one. See, this one's different now because I'm going to have to hold it. We're going to put something underneath. You know what? This might work perfectly. All right, this is working nicely. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to run the glue on the seam. And the same thing, we're going to put a little bit of the baking soda on. All right, so that looks good. So what I want to do is I want to do the same thing. And I want to keep it smooth. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a little bit of glue running down the seam. So we're going to start with that. I'm going to put the powder on. And now we're going to do the side. Let's see, where does it go? All right, it goes up this way. So now we put some of the baking soda on. So now I think we can do the next section. This is going to be tough to keep this closed. All right, so I'm going to run some glue down the seam. Keep as much pressure as I possibly can. Now we're going to drizzle the baking soda down the side. And I want to keep the pressure on. All right, so I cleaned off all the baking soda. And what it does is, I hope you can see it, almost looks like a weld seam all the way at the end. So it does a good job, and it already feels like it's a little bit stronger. And now when we look at the outside, hopefully you can see the, make sure I pick it up carefully, the areas that we had done. When we take the tape off, it should be nice and seamless, hopefully anyway. But I'm gonna put it back so we can look at the bottom, just like that, to show you guys the seams and what it looks like with the baking soda. All right, you can see now the seams that we ran on the inside. We put the line of glue, and then we dusted it with the baking soda. And this is going to get hard when it cures. We'll actually be able to sand, like if there's any kind of overlay where the base is on the bottom, we'll be able to fix that. And we did over here. This part has to be strong because you can see where we got a screw hole. And then over there. And I had noticed that this was broken or cracked. So there was a lot we had to do to this base in order to get the seams gone and get it strong and reinforced, put the pieces back together, fix the cracks. So now what we got to do, we got to wait 24 hours for this to cure. But once this is all cured, then we'll be able to move on. In the next video, we're going to actually put in the fiberglass, and that's really going to reinforce this. So my friends, I thank you for watching, and until the next video on this project, I'll talk to you guys soon.